Hey guys, welcome back in IT and thank you so much for your lovely support that we complete more than 2000 subscribers. So thank you so much, and we also recently complete more than 500 videos in our IT channel. Thank you so much for your all loves and support. So from this video, we'll try to learn about mobile game development, like Android touch screen setups, how you can make basically a mobile game in Unreal Engine 5. Okay, so yeah, we are going to use the Unreal Engine 5 EA2, that is basically the early access or the alpha of Unreal Engine 5 preview 2. Okay, so now let's start. For making a game, if we are targeting for lower device but in good quality, we can use the third-person template for a start, and then we can select the targeted platform to mobile and set the quality to 3D scale. And if you want, you can use the standard content, or if you want, you also can, depends on the situation, you can use the standard content. So at here we are going to create something kind of like, I'm not sure that what kind of like game we can create for the mobile, but let's start. So let's give it name that mobile, like I'm not sure that mobile UE5. Okay, I think this project name is good enough for this. Okay, now the mobile UE5 is done. Now let's click on create. So I am just thinking about, so we can use some firing system, we can use some driving system like plane, and like kind of like a simple opener but in a small. Okay, so here we have first of all our level, and make sure guys, I'm not sure that you know about the virtual texture or not, but for the mobile game the best is the virtual texture. Okay, currently in our scene, if you check, like if I show you the FPS, as you can see the FPS is 50-60, depends on your CPU and graphics processing unit, and basically around you may be found 30 FPS to something like that. So if you go to your project settings, let's first of all search lumen. So as you can see correctly in our scene, there's a lumen is enabled, we don't need, so set it to none and set it to none. Software ray tracing mode lumen, for now let's set it by default how it's one. So as you can see, we are getting now the 80 FPS. Okay, that's good. Okay, now if I show you the project settings slash, and if you go to all the settings, and if you search that virtual virtual, and here you find that the virtual texture enable supports for mobile, so you can enable. So yeah, in this project we are going to use the virtual texture, so enable the virtual texture, and yeah, only by this thing, and make sure the enable texture light map. Okay, because we want the light map of the virtual texture, or it will be we can't see. Okay, and this is a virtual texture imported size, and a 40,096 auto, that is basically the auto size. However, now we need basically a restart. Okay, also we set our default joystick to our left virtual joystick, and now simply give a restart. Okay, now it will be maybe shader compile for you, because the problem is the Unreal Engine 5, even in Unreal Engine 4, if you compile for, like as you can see starting the shader compile, this is because the virtual texture texture is totally different from how we are use the traditional shadow mapping or shadow mapping texture. It's some different, it's kind of like a virtual texture, so we will be get some more better performance with virtual texture. That's why we are going to use that. Okay, now we have this virtual texture in our scene. So now basically we have enabled the virtual texture basically. So what you can do, if I show you like how basically the virtual texture work, or how we know that that is basically a virtual texture or not, if you go to manicures, then characters, then texture. So as you can see, this is a normal texture, this is not a virtual texture. So if I duplicate this thing, and after I duplicate this one, if I double click and open, and then we need to basically, if I like full screen, then as you can see there's an option available, that is compress without alpha. Okay, you find this option that compress without alpha, you need to enable this thing. Second, you find here that game legacy, there should be a game legacy option. Yeah, use the game legacy, use virtual texture streaming. So we need to enable these three options. Now let's save. So if I now minimize, and if I show you content browser, we maybe need a restart, then it should be show that there's a VT. As you can see, there's a correctly maybe showing a VT. Maybe if you are seeing because this let me do the same thing for this. As you can see, there's a no this logo have, so let's enable that, and let's enable the gamma legacy and the virtual text streaming. So as you can see there, the VT, you can see there's an icon at here, the bottom side, right down bottom side, VT, a logo. That means this is now a virtual texture. So that is basically the virtual texture. So the virtual texture is totally work greater than this one. So what we'll do will be now open our manicures, and instead of manicures, which is the basically the material, will be open the material. And as you can see, these are using these two ones. So what will we do? First of all, which materials we created or texture we created, will be first of all delete them like that. And we have now these three all. So select all, go to right mouse, then go to set action, then Brook Adelaide properties, and go to compress and set it to without alpha. Go to label details, and here not here, maybe in the compression settings, now texture, yep, at here we will be fine here that virtual texture streaming, enable that and saved all. So as you can see, currently the player become black, so we need to give a basically a restart. Okay, so first of all, as you can see, all the texture has been come. So yeah, let's give it a restart. So just close your project and reopen your project. So maybe some of cases it's you need to maybe open tons of time your project, but you will be get better result in virtual texture. That's why you're basically using the virtual texture. Okay, so as you can see, our character has been loaded, it's goodly. Okay, like yeah, it's good enough. And let's see the FPS current. So we are getting pretty much 80, and that's all. But as you can see, the shadow somewhere, maybe this shadow the shadow is buffering or kind of like some bad. We'll be fix it later. Now let's go to edit and project settings. At here we'll be search that motion, and we'll be we need to disable this basically the motion blur. So motion, or you can make sure that we are in all settings and search BLUR. Yes, as you can see, the motion bar has been disabled automatically for a mobile project. That is good. Okay, so we have now got a clever character. Now let's set up this character for the mobile. So we will edit project settings, and here we'll be search here that mouse and enable the mouse, and then go to mobile, MOBILE. What the heck is this? What I'm doing, MOBILE. Okay, finally right. Okay, so always show the touch interface, will be enable that. And now let's click on play. So as you can see, we have now the virtual joystick to run, and